Our last honoree of this evening is Aida Waserstein. Judge Waserstein emigrated to this country as an unaccompanied minor as part of Operation Pedro Pan, also known as Operation Peter Pan, in 1961, along with thousands of other Cubans in the wake of the Cuban Revolution. A resilient teenage girl, Judge Waserstein learned English, became an excellent student, and in just 5 short years went to Bryn Mawr College. From there, Judge Waserstein went to the University of Pennsylvania Law School. While an attorney at Delaware's Community Legal Aid Society, Judge Waserstein intervened on behalf of Hispanic plaintiffs in a series of school desegregation lawsuits in the late 1970s. She advocated for the need to address these students' language needs in the bilingual program. It is noteworthy that Judge Waserstein was the only woman lawyer involved in Delaware's school desegregation litigation in the 1970s. Judge Waserstein was also both the first Hispanic member of the Delaware Bar and the first Hispanic judge in the state of Delaware. In 1996, Judge Waserstein was appointed to the Delaware Family Court in Newcastle County, where she served for 21 years. After retirement, she published 3 children's books. My Name is Aida, both in English and Spanish, and Amelia Finds Her Voice, a custody story, and Joey's Buddy, a foster care story. Let's hear more about Judge Waserstein's incredible accomplishments in the following video.
Well, if you know Aida, you have known Aida, you probably have heard about her story about, being the Peter Pan child, leaving Cuba by herself, on her own, and having to figure it out.
Her mother died when she was very young. And then shortly after the Bay of Pigs incident, her father, her widowed father, sent Aida from Cuba to the States as an unaccompanied minor. She was part of the Pedro Pan evacuation program after Castro took power in Cuba. So Aida arrived here knowing Spanish and Yiddish, but no English. A 13-year-old girl who then went into foster care.
Ultimately, education allow for her to flourish, develop, and so on and so forth. So I think it's a reflection back on her own experiences, so how important and what a differentiating factor education can be.
She's been a gift to our state. There's a long list of firsts for Aida. She was the first Hispanic Latin attorney in the Delaware Bar. She was the first woman to lead Community Legal Aid Society as its acting director. And then an important milestone, very important, in 1995, Aida Waserstein became the first Hispanic Latin judge to serve in the Delaware court system.
Was not only about figuring it out and ultimately being professional, successful both professionally and personally, but also taking the notion of how can I now, with what I've been able to do, what I've been able to accomplish, give back to the community, and also the focus around those marginalized communities have been a passion of hers as well. We met because we started working on sort of coming up with ideas about how to better help the Hispanic, the Latino population in Delaware. A spin-off of that later on was also Aspira Academy, which is a charter school that have emphasized dual language and biliteracy. And Aida was one of the people that initially helped write the charter for that, because it is a charter school, and was successful. That charter was granted in 2009. The school opened in 2011 and being on operation since.
She definitely has a very strong sense of community and of connecting communities. For example, when I mentioned to Aida some of the issues we're dealing with in my work regarding human trafficking, she very quietly but effectively has connected me with the Multicultural Judges and Lawyers Group, and is now planning with Hadassah and the Jewish Family Services a program on sex trafficking that will be held in December. It's that type of blending of communities, of bringing like-minded people from different backgrounds together to see what we have in common, that we are a human family, that's the meaning of family, and that we're all the better for the fact that we have differences. She is a kind and caring soul, both on a systems change level and on a very individual personal level.
Aida Waserstein, for always using your experience for the greater good and for touching the lives of so many here in Delaware. We'd like to officially induct you into the Delaware Women's Hall of Fame.
First, I have to tell you that it's no wonder that Ilana Holland and I are friends, because as you hear me speak, you'll hear resonating a lot of the things that she said. And I want you to know, although we spoke after her husband died more than once, we have not talked to each other since we're both nominated. So somehow we are on the same wavelength. I'm honored to be in this distinguished company of the other inductees tonight. They're truly outstanding. I thank Governor Carney, First Lady Quillen, Senator Carper, who took a chance on me and appointed me to my first term on the bench. I hope I have not disappointed you. The Office of Women's Advancement and Advocacy, the Women and the Law section of the Delaware Bar, Mary McDonough and Lourdes Puig, and so many others who made this night possible. Frankly, I did not recognize myself in the woman who was described tonight. The reason is that for me, nothing that I did was extraordinary. I was blessed by many opportunities and by the helping hands that so many people extended to me over the years. I was not special. What was special was that people around me had the confidence in me that I myself did not have, that they saw potential that I did not see, and that they nourished it. They reached out and helped. For that, I honor them. My focus this night is on the generations who follow and what we can do to assist them. You noticed the Girl Scouts who presented the two flags early this evening. And you've also noticed that my two granddaughters walked me up to the stage. They and their peers will face even greater challenges than our generation did. We need to give them the tools so they can successfully address the difficulties that they will surely encounter. Our legacy should be to inspire them. At age 13, I came to this country by myself, and although bilingual in other languages, I neither spoke English or understood the culture here. Everything was foreign to me, and I missed my family and my home deeply. My assumptions were challenged, and I had to adjust quickly in order to survive. I benefited from an enriching environment and eventually flourished. This inspired me to be of service to others and to obtain the skills necessary to assist them. I challenge our young people to take advantage of the diversity that learning new languages, meeting new people, and from different parts of the world offer. To learn from it and value it. To reach out and befriend newcomers, help them find their way, and in doing so, strengthen all of us. I also challenge the rest of us here tonight to help our youth shape a new world that welcomes differences and is nurtured by them. As my life illustrates, we are all stronger when we welcome people of other backgrounds with distinct languages, skills, talents, and worldviews. The result is fresh outlooks and innovative ideas that nourish our society and makes us better people with deeper fountains of caring and understanding. I thank you for coming tonight, and as you leave, I hope that my words strike a positive chord deep in your hearts. Thank you.
Well, I don't have a lot to say, so I shouldn't have to worry about where page 13 is. Thank you, Judge Waserstein, for being here tonight and for the great work you've done to create change for others and really lead the way in diversity so that we can think differently.